Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to this live session on management of new products and services.
Yes, please.
Participants, Professor Jayanta Chatterjee, sir, is here with us to address all your queries. Please post your doubts in the chat box. Meantime, we will address few questions which are posted in the Google form. So, shall I read the first question, sir?
Yes.
So the first question is differentiate between B2C and B2B products and provide examples of products that can be both B2B and B2C.
Okay. We are in the context of new products and services. B2C, which means business to consumer. So these are products or services which are purchased by an individual or by a family for direct consumption. So if you are buying a toothpaste or the mother is buying a toothpaste for the family or for the children, it's a B2C product purchase situation. If you are attending a course, then you are online course and you are paying yourself or your company is paying, but the course is for your own personal consumption or benefit, then you are in a service B2C procurement situation. If you are going to the hospital for a treatment, for your treatment or treatment of somebody in your family, and you are paying or your family is paying, then again it is a service procurement situation in the B2C context. Now it could be a new toothpaste, that is a new product B2C procurement situation. It could be a new treatment, medical treatment, that is a B2C service procurement situation. It could be a new type of hybrid online offline mixed course that you are procuring. That is again a B2C service procurement situation. But if your company is getting into a negotiated contract with a large chain of hospitals across the country for treatment of the employees at any one of those facilities, then it is a business, your company, entering into a deal with the healthcare providing company, the hospital chain or the nursing home chain. This is a B2B service procurement situation. So here, the company is not procuring the healthcare service for the company's managing director, or they are getting it for a large number of people who are members of that organization. And on the other side, it could be provided at any one of the outlets of the hospital chain. This is a B2B service procurement situation. If Maruti is entering into a contract with Asian Paints for as a primary supplier of paints for a particular model for a new type of luxury car, or entering into a specialized paint contract for sports utility vehicles, for rugged duty cars, special rust-proof hardy paint. That is a B2B situation for a specialized product. But this is an example where I am getting into the same product, this paint from Asian Paints, for sports cars or for adventure cars or for cars which will go in some kind of a rough duty. That special new type of paint, when purchased for upgradation or replacement by an individual, then that same paint which was purchased by Maruti or Tata Motors or Mahindras from Asian Paints in a B2B situation now becomes the same product, but now becomes a B2C, because you as an individual, you are buying it for your personal car. So the same product often will be playing in the context of B2B or in B2C. And important that when it comes to a new product, a new service situation, then in a B2B, there are many issues which are beyond the first sale. There will be issues relating to long-term service. There will be issues related to regular upgrades. So there will be what we call upsell situations. That means, you are going into higher and higher levels as the product evolves. So if you are a paint supplier and you are selling to an automobile manufacturer, you are getting into a situation of today's product as well as tomorrow's products. If you are successful with today's product, then you are opening the door to your prospect towards the future products. So you must be gearing up to keep pace with your customers' new products. So in the new product, new service context, in the B2B, you necessarily must take a long-range view. You must have a strategic approach. And the same also applies to consumer durables. That means if you are selling a refrigerator or you are selling a washing machine, then you will often take a long-range view or a more systems view. And if you have made a successful sale, if you are somebody like Samsung and you have made a successful sale of a new TV, then you might identify that buyer as a possible customer for your new range of refrigerators or washing machines or dryers. In fact, these days, smart companies, when their people come to install one particular type of white goods, they will often inquire and try to find out that what could be your white goods requirements of other types 3 months from now or 6 months from now or next year, and that will go into the database, and you will get a sales call from the seller. So here also, usually long range views are taken. Even in case of medicines, healthcare, new products are introduced, new services are introduced to existing customers on a priority basis. Because if you have a current satisfied customer, then you are more likely to make a sale for a new product or a new service. So these are some B2B, B2C situations and some examples of common situations.
Thank you so much, sir, for explaining in a very detailed manner, differentiating B2B and B2C. And now let us go to the next question, which is on explain the minimum viable product with an example. That is the question, sir.
Okay. Minimum viable product or MVP it could also be, when we say product here, we are talking about both goods and services or combinations. So the concept applies equally to a new, say, the same, we will take the same example like a new washing machine. Now you want to introduce a new type of washing machine to an area where there is a lot of problem with respect to electricity interruptions. So which means that there are frequent power outages. Now in a washing machine, as you know, suppose the machine is running with a load of washing and suddenly the power fails, which will be a situation in an area where there are frequent power outages. Then in the earlier type of machines or conventional machines, the washing cycle will stop. And when the power comes back, then you may have to restart from the beginning. This used to be a problem. But then your company does, like many companies have done now, that there are smart machines. It has memory, so it retains its memory that where it was when the power failed. So when the power comes back, it starts from that point in the washing cycle. You don't have to restart from the beginning. In fact, you may not even, in smarter machines, you don't need a manual intervention. In very conventional machines, you have to physically restart the machine. Somebody has to come and push a button. But there are smarter machines where power goes off The connections are all there. Power comes back, the machine restarts on its own. It doesn't need any human intervention. Now, this is an advanced machine. You want to introduce this product. The MVP concept says that you don't wait to complete all the development work with respect to this particular washing machine, but you actually develop the product which offers all the minimum required features. You introduce that product, like this machine you introduce. It has this feature that automatic restart is there. But automatic restart may also, for good functioning, it may need some other other features. It may need for example, a better display, a more digital display which shows that where the cycle stopped when the power went out. So when it restarts, it shows you. But initially, in the minimum viable product, you may not have the display fully ready. But you will launch the product because the basic proposition that you are offering in this advanced machine, which is automatic restart and memory of the cycle where it stopped, that is already developed. But all this display, additional display feature, warning, beeping, alarms, all these may not be there, or a signal to your mobile phone that the machine has stopped or the machine has restarted. All these features might not be fully ready as yet, but you don't wait for that. You launch the initial version. This initial version, which is viable and provides the minimum level of the key features, that's the minimum viable product. Now, the advantage of the minimum viable product is that how important is the signal to your mobile phone from the washing machine that the machine has stopped or the machine has restarted or your cycle is complete, etc. How important this feature is to your majority of the customers, you would get a much better feel if you are getting that feedback from a customer who already has your advanced machine installed. You will be able to fine-tune your further developments. You will be able to correct some of the problems with respect to this version. If you take the MVP approach. So the MVP says that you launch the minimum viable product, get continuous feedback from the customers, get continuous feedback from your field trials, and keep on improving the product. And in this concept, you never have a final product. You are in the mode of continuous development, continuous enhancements, and a necessarily long-term relationship building with the customer. And in many cases, you are involving the customer in creating the design specification, the design requirement, at least, if not the specification. clear definition of what is important to the user. These are advantages and these are necessary requirements to make the MVP approach successful. So that's the minimum viable product. So I gave an example of the washing machine. I could give an example of a service, which is, say, for example, a food delivery service. Now you are launching a food delivery service. That's the product. Now you may initially launch the features where local restaurants are supplying to local customers. So you are actually providing an application where the menus of the different restaurants are available and the customers have the ability to connect, and the restaurants also have a view of what the customers are ordering, and you are providing the platform where the people who are seeking food supply are getting matched to people who can, restaurants who can supply the food. Now, if you have this thing is ready and robust, you go ahead and launch the product. The service is available, and then you can keep on adding depending on the real life feedback from customers. For example, you may add the menu search option. That means customer can now search by the menu of a particular restaurant, or they may search by way of the name of a dish or kind of cuisine. They may search like Chinese non-vegetarian, or Gujarati vegetarian, or Bengali vegetarian, and your app will then provide at that stage. That means this is improvement beyond your MVP. So initially it is just the restaurants, their menus, and the customers and the connection. But then you are actually providing continuous upgrades where people can do more and more targeted searches, and they can, your app may retain what was your previous purchase. So now if you feed in, this is where actually you are continuously improving on the MVP. So now to this food delivery service, you put in Chinese, it will immediately bring up from its memory that what is it that you ordered earlier from this cuisine, from which restaurant, what type of items you ordered, so that the customer's ordering process becomes easier or quicker. So again, initially we launched the product, restaurants, customers, connection. And now you keep on adding features. This is the advantage of the MVP, that you catch the business early in the cycle. You are already generating cash flow. So cash flow generation and product improvement, product enhancement, new features, new capabilities are continuously added. So this is MVP, so often called also the lean product development or lean service development approach. So you start with the bare minimum, but viable minimum, not half-baked. It's working. It's almost bug-free. but new features are coming. This approach is now becoming almost standard in both for goods as well as for services in the new product, new service domain.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering this MVP concept in a very elaborative manner. Now, let us move to the next question. The question is, explain the Delphi technique with an example.
Okay. The Delphi technique we will normally adopt for a new product or a new service, which is maybe very radically new, or it is involving technologies or features which are cutting edge. So we have this new technology, Internet of Things, or we have the new technology of artificial intelligence. Now, if we embed artificial intelligence in a washing machine, say an industrial washing machine or B2B washing situation. Say, for example, these large washing machines which are procured by large hotels or hospitals. Now there, if we introduce artificial intelligence, then for the research development cost involved, the price of such a machine with built-in artificial intelligence AI will be more than a conventional machine. In the Delphi approach, what will be now AI built-in can offer a large number of new features. But which of those features we must have? Which of those features are good to have, but the customer may live without it? Which of those features the customers may live without, but if provided will delight the customer? To know these winning combinations, if we do a survey of customers at large, we may not get proper inputs, because for many customers it will be difficult to visualize all the nuances, finer points of this new technology, new feature provided by artificial intelligence. So in industry, we often adopt the Delphi technique, where we create a series of questions which we circulate among experts, people who can easily understand that what advantages will be provided by this new technology, but they also understand that what will be the cost implications, price implications. You take the feedback from these experts, and as anonymous feedbacks, that means if Mr. Murali Krishnan is one of the experts, when we circulate his opinion among the other experts, so what happens is we get a first round of inputs from the experts. We create a compiled report. We don't provide the names or addresses or anything like that. This compilation then we circulate among the experts again. So the experts then see that what opinions he or she expressed and what opinions have been expressed by other experts. And then again, a set of questions are asked. And by reading the feedback from all experts, the experts may actually revise or come up with new ideas or new suggestions or new opinions. But this is, there are variations. Sometimes we may do this kind of reiteration among people who are known experts, because there are certain advanced fields where the number of experts may be few and they may all know each other. So you may actually, you may do it in an explicit open manner, or you may usually it is done by this kind of anonymous feedback and recirculation of the feedback among the experts, and certain number of rounds may be done. So this is the Delphi process in a the basic framework. There will be variations, as I said, depending on the field you are in. If you are looking, for example, an advanced biotechnology product development, or you are looking at some kind of a quantum technology application, then you may tailor this process to the context and depending on the level of sophistication. In some cases, you may get a large number of experts. So the process may take a long time. These days, because of the availability of electronic media, this getting opinion from experts and recirculating the compilation of the experts' opinions, it has become a faster and easier process. Earlier, it had been done by mail. So that time it was a long process. Sometimes experts were brought together and it was done in when it was really urgent and it was complex. Then you could actually make hybrid systems where some discussions were also integrated into this process. But nowadays, as I said, you create a questionnaire, circulate, get opinion, create a compiled output from all those inputs, then again circulate, then again get input and do it few times. So as I would again mention that this process is mostly adopted where the technology is very new, the market is very new, both are new. So this new technology, new market situations often need the Delphi type of market research technique.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing insights on Delphi technique. So two more questions are posted in YouTube chat box. I will just read the first question. Explain briefly the concepts of TAM1 and TAM2, that is total addressable market and total available market, with examples, sir. Just briefly, a student wants you to explain, sir.
Okay. The TAM1 and TAM2 are very useful concepts. So, and also it is easy to understand if I put it in the geographical market sense. So you are a company located, you are an incubated company in IIT Kanpur, and you have developed a certain biotechnology product which will be very useful for orthopedic treatment for broken bones and for damaged bones after accidents. Now you have developed this new product, which is a lot of improvement on the current products available in the market. Now, total available market will comprise of all hospitals, orthopedic clinics across the country. If one stretches, it is across the world. These days, we will often think big. And in case of advanced products like biotechnology products, the world is your market. So the total available market is at least the whole nation, and in many cases, the whole world. But you are a high-tech startup in an university incubation park. You may be very capable, your product may be very good, but the sheer logistics, the capacity requirement for supplying the whole country may not be ready. So you have to define your steps. So in many cases, if you are this company incubated in IIT Kanpur, you will decide just for a practical approach, viable approach. I mean, it is desirable that you go to the whole nation in one go, but that's not feasible. And that may not be viable financially or in terms of capacity, organizational capacity, your production capacity. So you may decide that, okay, I will first target all the orthopedic hospitals and outlets, treatment centers in the Kanpur, Lucknow, Allahabad, Varanasi area, that part of North India. So that is your total addressed market. So the total available market is a bigger, the subsection of that is this total addressed market. And you may have a plan that, okay, I will, in the next step, I will go to Delhi, Bhopal. In the next step, you may say, okay, I will go beyond the northern zone, and I will go into the western zone or the eastern zone. So this step-by-step approach is how we go from total addressed market to total available market.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. I think the student Nidhi Agarwal who has posted that question is happy that we have addressed her query. And one final question, sir. I'll just read out the query. Explain briefly platform strategy with an example, sir. So with this thing, we will conclude the section, sir. It's almost time.
The platform strategy was popularized by the automotive industries. And if I give examples from the automotive industry, it becomes very easy to understand. These days, when a new model of car is introduced, we often think in terms of, like, for example, Maruti, when they first introduced their models, they had one platform, which means they had one combination of chassis, engine, and body, the Maruti 800. Now, almost with the same platform, with a little variation, with a different body, a little bigger body, and a bigger engine, the structure more or less remained the same. So the platform means basically earlier in an automobile, the chassis, that was almost synonymous with the platform. So you elongate the chassis and provide a different shape body, and it becomes the van. You change the chassis a little bit differently and provide a different structure of body, and it becomes I think what it used to be called kind of the Jeep-like structure of the car. So you have maybe a hatchback, slight variation. You have a sedan, 4-door version. So sometimes you may have a 2-door version, little change, a 4-door version, a little change, a van, a little change, a SUV or mini SUV, or sometimes now it is called a multi-utility vehicle. You may have a 4-wheel drive version for rugged terrains. You may even have nowadays, some of the platforms include a variation which is a luggage carrier, a small micro goods vehicle. So this is the whole concept of platform. That means don't think in terms of one product in one form with one package of features, but think in terms of building blocks, the engine as a building block, the chassis as a building block, the body as a building block, the fuel options, that means electric, hybrid, CNG, diesel, petrol, all kinds of fuel options are a building block. And you mix and match these building blocks, and you create products for different market segments, for different applications. And you necessarily, therefore, when you take the platform approach, You take a long range view. You decide that, okay, these are the 4 variants I will be introducing to start with. Then over the next 5 years, these are the improvements I will do. And these are the new capabilities I will add. And these are the new segments, market segments I will address. Or this is how I will protect my current market segment from new entrants. So this big map, mental map, a strategic vision drives the platform strategy. That's why we often say that think in terms of a platform as opposed to a product. No more this one-off, one package concept of the earlier product management approach, but building blocks, combine, recombine, create different options for different market segments. That's the platform approach.
Thank you so much, sir, for explaining in a detailed manner about platform strategy. So with this query, we will end this session, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time. Thank you,
Okay.
participants. If you have any queries, please do post in the discussion forum of our course. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night, sir.